Hello and welcome to the bit. Hello and welcome to the next Let's Talk. And this should be about, like, I guess, fourth, fifth episode, something around there. But recently I've seen the trailer for Sonic Mania, and oh my god, that looks freaking awesome. Sonic Mania, seems like it just came. The game looks real good. It looks like it continues from the last Sonic game. Well, not the last, but the last 2D Sonic game. The game looks very nice, and I'm actually looking forward to it, even though I don't have any of the systems that it's coming out for. But shoot, that game looks very nice, and I hope it does well. It's probably one of the best Sonic games released since the original Sonic and Knuckles. Well, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but still, it looks very nice, and I hope it does well. After seeing Sonic Mania, I was all hyped up and with seeing the new Sonic game, and I was thinking, oh man, that's what they're gonna show this year, and that'll be real good. That'll be like one of the best Sonic games in a while. But then they showed Sonic 2017, and I saw the trailer and it looked nice, but I can't judge it yet because it's just CGI. It looks nice, but what other than a Sonic Generation sequel could it be? It could probably have something like maybe a new type of gameplay, maybe another character, but I see a lot of hints to, like, it reminds me, well, let's say it reminds me of like Sonic Saturday cartoon. The big robots remind me of the SWAT bots, but bigger and fatter. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic. The feeling of the environment feels similar to the comic books and the cartoon, but I doubt they'll make a game off that. But that'll be sick to see the Robotnik from that cartoon on there. Sonic, he's the fastest. He's one of my favorite Robotniks that was ever made. I call him Robotnik. You guys call him Eggman, but I always call him Robotnik. He will always be Robotnik to me because I grew up knowing him as Robotnik, not the Japanese name of Eggman. Well, with that, let's talk about my history with Sonic games. Back in the mid-90s, I started playing Sonic the Hedgehog. I started with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I didn't start with part 1 like most of the people. But with Sonic the Hedgehog 1, I remember I used to be bad at the first level when I first started. But that's when I started getting into games. And then I practiced, and then now I could beat the first level with these. I could beat it within 28 seconds. Well, today I beat it with 28 seconds. I could probably do quicker if I was really trying. But the game overall was pretty good. There's some stages that I didn't like, but there's only a few. There's only a few. For example, one of them was what was it called? The Aztec Ruins, or what they call Arctic Ruins, and that was the only one I didn't really like. I found it kind of it didn't fit in. It's a nice looking zone, but it's not something that I really liked. It's one of those that I kind of want to be quick. After playing Sonic 2, I went into Sonic 1. Yeah, I went reverse, but Sonic 1 was a good game. After getting used to the spin dash, I kind of found that it was kind of irritating trying to do the spin dash when you can't. But it's still a great game. It has some more platforms than the other Sonic games. Well, the other Sonic 2, but I found it still a great game. It's a little slower, but still a great game. But there are more levels on there that I didn't like than Sonic 2, like the obvious water level. I don't remember the name of it. It's been a while since I played actual Sonic 1. And there's that one, there's a few other ones, but that's one of my most hated. The boss on there gets on my nerves. He's a fucking bitch, but I got over. I ended up beating him, and I took it slow and steady. Wins the race, like always. That's what the people say. But I ended up beating the game. It took me a little bit longer, but I beat the game. It's a shorter game, and I could now beat it pretty quick. But when I first tried it, took me a while. And on to Sonic. Then after that, I went on to Sonic 3, and later with Sonic and Knuckles. But Sonic 3 was one of my top games of the Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I'm counting them both as one. That was my favorite game of the series. It's had more stages because I'm counting it as one game, and it has the best design of all the characters. The the gameplay was solid. It had great stages. There's no stage on there that I complain about at the moment that I'm trying to think of. My favorite being Ice Cap. The music for Ice Cap was freaking amazing. The enemy designs were pretty great. The boss designs were simple yet effective and good. They were creative. They were very interesting, and it was yeah, like obvious one of my favorite. Oh yeah, there is a level I didn't like, Sanopolis or whatever they call it. That was one of those that I didn't like. It's one of those that I could have done without. But every game has their bad levels, so I won't complain about I won't just complain about one bad level. But Sanopolis, it's one of those that it takes its time. It goes on longer than it has to. Ice the ice cap though it's nicely done. But there's also one that's a runner-up to it that I like is Lava Reef. Lava Reef was a really nice stage, greatly designed. Yeah, good enemy placement. Trap placement could have been is kind of a bitch, but it's not something that ruins the level for me. As you see, it's one of my top two. It's on my top two, and it still doesn't. That the traps doesn't ruin it for me. The boss designs were pretty good. The actual Robotnik boss though fight was kind of interesting. They used the lava as a gimmick for the boss fight, which I actually liked. After Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I kind of slowed down playing Sonic games. I did get into Sonic 3D Blast, which I did beat kind of quick. It is kind of a nuisance to find the animals, but that's the concept for the game, so I didn't really complain about it. It was kind of a bit of a game. And then I went into Sonic Adventure games and so on, but the only one that was actually good was Sonic Adventure 1. I don't know what all the hype is about Sonic Adventure 2. I thought it was kind of limiting a whole bunch of stuff. Probably just Shadow. Probably that's the big thing about it, but Shadow wasn't even that great of a character. He's just a copy character. I don't like copy characters, but anyways, people are gonna get mad. But anyways, I didn't really see it. I didn't see the big thing about Sonic Adventure 2. And after that, there's Sonic Heroes and all that. I went into that, but I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm not gonna talk about that today. I don't want to bore you guys with all Sonic stuff. But I went into the new games, got bored of them. They're not as good as the original. Then I got into Sonic Generations. Sonic Generation was pretty good, but I can't. I got tired of that face hit shit, and with the modern Sonic, and it's made it too simple. There's no for the obstacles, and the game was more of a speedrun type thing. And then I went back to Nintendo and started playing their games. And that's my Sonic history. I've been playing it since I was little. I still play the classic Sonics now. But with Sega, I'm mostly with Sonic, Street of Rage, and some other ones. But those are the main two that I really play. And that's all I gotta talk about today. I have nothing else to talk about today other than Comic-Con being here. But I didn't get to go this time. Or the last few years, I didn't get to go. Sucks, but I would like to go. But maybe next time. Hopefully I get into the volunteering next time and I'll be able to go. So if I do go next time, I'll have more news, maybe even some pictures. But we'll see what happens next year. And it's about that time where I reveal another character to you. Today I'll be showing you guys Kalan, the elf from the southern woods. His home is in the southern woods of Loranda. These woods are the Alvin Woods. not all the woods are shown in this map because the actual Alvin lands southern are the southern part are in the southern part of Loranda below, and the woods spread a long way. It's a big woods. It's one of the biggest Alvin woods in the actual game so far. We don't have all the full map made, so we call them just the Uncharted Lands. The Howland Woods where Kalan comes from is a place you wouldn't want to go alone or by yourself with or unprepared. It's full of traps and everything. They try to keep their town secret. So if you get close to traps, you know you're close to a town, and you wouldn't even know that they're in trap. But but we don't have much on this character other than he's an elf. He comes from the Southern Woods. He's an archer. Oh yeah, he's also an archer. He's a class AA archer, which is an advanced archer. And the character is also. It took me a while to design. Well, my brother to design. My brother's designed this character. This character is actually pretty interesting design. Originally, my original design, he had a black coat because I didn't really know how to design this character. I had it like that for a while until my brother finally told me what he wanted. Once I got that done, the character took on how it looks right now. Now let me talk about one other character. She's more unique than the others. She's Luna the Moon Mage. The Moon Mage is well, in our lore, I guess, or Turbeck's, yeah, or lore, I guess. The Moon Mages are mages that live on the or the Luna Mountains to the east of Loranda. Their magic is strongest during the night, obviously, and well, they're stronger in night. The strongest is during the full moon. The Moon Mages have a crystal usually on their staff, which they gather mana so they could spellcast during the day. But once they lose that mana, they use their life force. They lose their life while using magic. And if they lose too much, they'll die. The Moon Mages are something that I took my time designing, making up the backstory, even their clothing. The clothing of this Moon Mage, her white robe with the light blue lining. The light blue lining is like a moonstone infused thread. It glows during the night and it gives off a bright blue look. It's like, I guess, like a nightlight, or like they don't need a torch to walk around, and it usually scares off people. And reason why people don't like the Moon Mages. The Moon Mages are also pale. They're usually pale, and some have the tendency of going to become moon witches, which is something that I haven't went into, or how they become moon witches or Luna witches. But I'm still working on that story, and once I figure it out, I'll let you know. But Luna, she's a moon mage that was, I guess, an outcast or somebody who was thrown out of her town for doing something. I haven't decided why, but she ends up meeting one of the main characters, and traveling with them on their first mission. She also knows her healing arts and some damage moves. That's her basic. She's basically like a red mage, but in skill, I mean. And she's one of those characters that was originally going to be a main character, but was replaced for another character. And that other character, I won't say yet. I will say in time, but not right now, because I haven't revealed them yet. Also, they also designed the food that would be with them. The food that they make are the moon candy, which is just rock candy. Like, like the little crystal candies you see, and it's nothing special. But that's something I gave them. Usually every race have their own food, like the owls with their forest salads. I'll go into that later. The but her story, it's kind of a dark story. A kind of messed up story at the end, but her story is interesting, very interesting. But I won't get into it. And finally, let me tell you about Slime Forest and King of the Slime. Slime Forest is just north of Valley Town and is the barrier that keeps most of the people from Valley to going to the rest of Aranda. Slime Forest was originally a nice, good forest, green forest, for that which they used to pick their core fruit from. Core fruit is a special fruit from this story. I'll go more into it right now. But the forest was originally a forest of core fruit. A core fruit, it's a fruit that has a whole bunch of energy in it that gives usually the person that eats it extra energy. But in some other instances, it could do something else. And that's what the mage that went to the slime forest had to study the powers of the core fruit. That's the reason why he went there, and he built a tower for that reason. He ended up planting a tree that he used to have in his old how do you call it, his old house, the slime tree. Originally, the slime tree is just a place where he could get his samples of slime very easily. And then he in the story he ends up gathering some slime and putting a core fruit in it. The core fruit ended up making a monster. It ends up being the actual slime monster, and that's the first one he ever made. That ended up being King of the Slime. King of the Slime ended up escaping from him and spread the slime. He spread slime throughout the whole forest, and now slimes are being created every time a core fruit drops into a pile of slime. The floor of the slime forest is like a river of slime, and there's no way a person could travel through it. Some people build walkways throughout the forest of slime, which do help people walk through the forest, but there's still a lot of danger from the slimes and the king of slimes. And only a few people actually go through there as long as they have a guard or a warrior. And that's one of the first areas our one of our hero characters goes to. He ends up finding Goober Slime, King of Slime. That's his name, Goober. We stuck with Goober because it sounded funny, and we end up he's ended up with that name ever since. But the forest has a lot of history. It's one of our first areas that we made. The forest of slime also has a lot of monsters and a lot of weird animals, like the slime fish, which looks very odd. I don't have no drawing for him on my computer at the moment, but I will soon. But the slime fish usually swims through the slime, jumping to slime area, and that's about slime. But slime forest, the slime color is blue, and the trees are all core trees. Some were transformed into slime trees, to which it's a long story about that. But I don't have it in front of me, so I can't tell you. It's pages and pages of stuff. But the core fruit, it's what generates the the slimes, the slime enemy, and gives them intelligence, all that. And in how you call them, in other writings we have, it ended up being core crystals that started the slime. But this we stuck with core fruit. We use core crystals for something else. But the the mage he ended up being went missing, and the story for that is not fully finished either. There's a lot of not finished stuff, but It's getting there. It's getting slowly but surely it'll be done. But hopefully you guys will like everything we've been working on. I thank you for listening again, and hopefully you guys will continue listening. This is Robert. See you later. Bye.
And I am going to cast doubt on this world.